mute yourself. You know, want to speak up and share a testimonial, then unmute yourself, and then just come on in and share your testimonial with us. So before we get started, I'm going to say the disclaimer, and it's AO scan technology is not a medical device. The statements shared here tonight have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. So if you are sick, please consult your physician or your healthcare practitioner. So we're going to go ahead and open up the call and see if anybody has any testimonials they'd like to share. Just unmute yourself and feel free to speak what you got on your mind. Nobody? Would you like to hear from my husband, who in April, some of you know, but no, in April, he had a pretty bad accident where he put a hole saw, a 4-inch hole saw through his arm, and pretty much cut into the bone. So I got really quick on my scanner and started scanning and optimizing him. And I started running Cephis on him immediately. So I'm going to turn it over to him and let him tell you how he felt.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I had a pretty significant injury to my left arm and received 28 stitches, I think it was, put me back there. And the doctor said that it would be close to a year for recovery. But having the AO scanner as one of my tools and using it and running frequencies on me and playlist, I was able to shorten that time greatly. And the healing was just significant and really good. It helped me with my sleep, helped me to deal with the pain. Just didn't have to rely on any pain pills at all, which was awesome. Because it was significant damage, to my body. So the trauma alone was bad. But again, thanks to the power of the scanner and the frequencies, and it really did me well on that. That's my testimony.
That is awesome. Scott, did you do the inner voice a lot too?
I did.
Probably a lot of emotions wrapped up in that little instance.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, and not to mention he was out of work for, what was it, nearly 8 weeks before he actually went back to work. I mean, he went back to work a lot quicker than the doctors even said he would go back to work. Of course, we had other tools we did use. I'm going to be very forthright. We did use some other things too, but I pulled everything out of my toolbox that I had. But what was really amazing to me is that immediately, I mean, the pain, he didn't complain of any pain. And I immediately started those Cephis. And then I built a group that, we kind of do things for people that are in emergency situations. And those of us that have scanners, we come together and we'll play Cephis and run scans and do things for people on the side. And I just messaged my entire group there and said, please, if you could run some Cephis for Scott so that he can go through this, without any pain and a lot of discomfort, it would be very grateful. And of course, then 2 weeks later, he had to have that arm opened back up, and we did the same thing. So it's an incredible tool, you guys. So I encourage you to use it for anything that comes up, even if it's simple. And you guys can share even simple testimonies, because those are big. A lot of times you have to go grab a something over the counter, and with the scanner, you don't have to if you'll just do the Cephis. Deb, go ahead.
Well, picking up on the subject of pain, we traveled to Arkansas this weekend, and on Sunday, I was having really bad pain in the morning. I mean, my back and my hips. And, you know, I slept on a wedge in a regular bed when I've got an adjustable bed at home and blah, blah, blah. And those are things that I deal with. But I really had a lot of pain. And I did my inner voice. Well, I did my easy scan, and then I did my inner voice tones. And then I took all my jewelry out and I went down my list and I did all my scans and my Cephis. And then after I got done going through the list and the Cephis and scanning everything that I can scan, I actually, for the very first time, used the homeopathic and put back pain and hip pain in, and then did a scan, put the back pain in as the symptom, then did a scan, then imprinted it on my jewelry, whatever, my gemstones, bracelets is mostly what I got. That's specifically what I wear them for. And then I did hip, same thing, you know, did put that in there for the symptoms, scanned it, imprinted the Cephi list on my, I swear to God, my pain was gone in minutes and I didn't have any. In fact, I'm still not having that pain. Of course, been wearing them since Sunday. I'm going to probably imprint tomorrow. I've been busy since I got home, but yes, and that's the second time actually that I've had such a significant pain. When I had an MRI earlier or last year, in fact, it was in September, I got shingles within like 3 days. And I had severe, like it felt like the flu was emanating from the side of my head. It was awful. And the only thing that would touch the pain was the scanner. So I will second the pain relief with the scanner.
It's definitely helped me too. I suffer a little with some arthritis, and man, I tell you what, that's something I've imprinted on my Cephi dot yesterday. I did an arthritis on there because I was having some problems with my neck yesterday. And of course, I put one of my other patches on here and I imprinted it too. But I've been, you know, I've been keeping one of these on me, and let me tell you, those Cephi dots work. So if you haven't tried the Cephi dots, I encourage you to grab those too. Anybody else like to share?
Lene was asking if Scott used the Cephi dots, but I think this happened right before we got them.
Yeah, yeah. No, he didn't use it, but he did use them with your second, the second. Poor Scott.
You might want to
Yeah,
mention
we did.
gracefulness.
Right, right. He has been banned from cutting tools for sure.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we do this call because we have so many things at our hands. It's hard for me to remember everything. The homeopathics, I am still not great about going in there and just running a quick scan. I just don't think about it because I've gotten used to the other stuff. But thanks for bringing that up, Deb, because I'm trying to be a little more mindful of that.
It really worked. I have to tell you, I mean, like almost immediately, it was just, wow, I should have done that. And of course, I went into the Cephi dot ones and I didn't actually use the Cephi dot, but I did the arthritis, I did the cellular restore, you know, I did all of the ones that I normally do that I feel like that, but that's the first time I've used the homeopathic function. I'm really interested in the homeopathics. I just don't know a lot about it. And I'm got a lot of things on my plate. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
I was really
the homeopathics are amazing. I mean, if you can start to utilize those and at least put one in a playlist when you're, I mean, even if you don't know if it works for you, because you may find out that homeopathic remedy was really good for you, and you can look it up, especially if you see a change or something, then look up and see what that one particularly was, and it may have been one that was right for you. So
oh, it worked out great. I love the scan feature, how you can do, like, it gives you a playlist, but then you scan yourself and it says, oh, well, you really need it in this format or in this way or whatever. I think that's just fantabulous.
it is. I think it is too. Anybody else like to share?
I just wanted to say something to Lene. She was messaging me about I think getting some Cephi dots. Don't forget, anybody who purchased a virtual day discovery, you get 20% off all merchandise, not the scanners or the subscriptions, but all merchandise that whole week from March 9th through the 15th.
Is the day of discovery, isn't it the 8th through the 15th? Or
Is it the 8th?
You know, Jen was or no, somebody else was asking me what the dates were, and I thought it was the 8th through the 15th, but I may be off. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
And it's not
8th or 9th.
stated in the back office.
I
Yeah.
bet they mentioned it on the call tonight
Yeah, they might. They might.
or the
Yeah.
video.
And make sure you get your ticket before March 1st.
Yes,
They
yes.
will go up March 1st.
And man, if you're talking to other people that are interested in this technology, tell them about this because this is huge.
Mhm.
Get them going before the end of the month.
Yes, like to share.
Linda Akers, have you
Okay.
been using your scanner?
Go ahead.
Linda Akers, can you hear us? She may be busy.
Let me see what
I just wanted to hear from her.
Didn't know if would want to place on public test the person that took all the back through told them not to. So upset. Can they be detox, have blood clots? Oh yeah, they most definitely can be detox. We can discuss that probably after. Jacqueline, I can message you, and I'm sure Sheila has some things that she can share too as well. But there's definitely things that you can detox them with. So that's unfortunate. And we do have I do have a playlist that actually Lauren gave me for ones that have taken that, and the list, and I also have a shedding list. So I'll put that in the team chat.
Thank you. I'm so upset with her because I told him not to do it.
Yeah. It's hard. It is hard because some people are going to do it whether they're told not to.
My sister can't even walk. Yeah, this is the second person. My sister can't walk.
Wow.
She's doubled over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of people being affected by it, and they're having lots of cardio problems and lots of neuro problems, and it's just unfathomable. We are really going to have a lot of work to do. Those of us that are, healers and practitioners, they're going to be coming out of the woodwork for us. So just hang in there and try to work with them as much as you can.
I had a pastor yesterday. He was having some issues and he was going to the doctor. I didn't have a problem with that. I did the scanner on him and I had all of these double reds. I mean, and he also had taken everything. They even came to the house and gave him everything because his mom is disabled. So while she got hers, he got his. And I showed him and explained to him, yes, please go to your doctor. Make sure they do a thorough exam. Make sure they do blood work, because if they do the blood work, they're going to find possibly what I'm seeing. He had the audacity to ask them about frequencies. They told him there was no such thing. They didn't know what he was talking about. I was so upset with him. So how are we addressing? I'm like, okay, this is a doctor and his nurse practitioner and his nurse, and they have never heard of frequencies. Now, it's one thing if they don't do it or if they don't address it, but you're going to tell me in their reading and their studies, they've not even heard about it, then you need to find you another doctor, period.
Yeah, they're not natural medicine was taken out in the early 1920s. They're not taught anything about natural medicine, homeopathy, none of that.
And honestly, we're going to have to be very careful about even speaking about it with a lot of people, because I was reading an article just yesterday how some of the holistic doctors are kind of being done away with.
Oh yeah, I've lost
No.
several friends.
And it's like, they're gonna find the ones that are doing the natural healing and stuff like that, and they're gonna try to take them out. So just be very careful about who you mix with.
That's been going on for several years. They're
Yeah.
up to people now.
Yeah.
It's crazy scary. Actually, not to lie, that's part of what went into me backing up off of all of this in 2020 when everything went crazy and stuff, because I was just like, people are being destroyed out here. And then now people are, and you already know people are being killed. It just felt so crazy, but I actually just can't. I can't hide my light anymore, I guess I should say.
It's how I feel, sister. It's how I feel.
How are we clearing and shielding ourselves? Just
Say again?
how are we clearing and then shielding ourselves?
You need to be. I mean, you can do that in the scanner, but I know I have a pretty good practice. This morning, I just did a bunch of frankincense in my home. I ran through my home with frankincense I have the little that you burn, and said my prayer. And it's something I do in my home almost on a pretty weekly basis. I probably need to be doing it every day. But even, you need to have your own, routine that you do to kind of help clear yourself, shield your home. There's all kinds of methods and ways you can do that, but I really encourage everybody to get a spiritual hygiene up and make sure that you're doing something to protect yourself, because it's pretty rough out there.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
I've noticed some people's playlists, and when I'm building a playlist, I'm thinking first I want to clear them, and then I want to run things, and then I want to shield them. But I see people putting those together oftentimes at the beginning. What's your thoughts?
Well, Lauren has stated that as long as they're just in the playlist, they're fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, because you're clearing and you're shielding, and no matter how it loops, you're still, but I've done it both ways, and I feel like it's effective both ways.
Okay.
So. And now if you're just going to run that playlist from top to bottom and that's it, you probably want your clear at the top and your shield at the bottom.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
But I'm running mine continuous for 30 minutes to an hour with some people. So
Okay,
you-
Tammy,
can-
I have a question on that.
Sure.
Because and I don't remember if it's in phase 1 or in the one before that, but Lauren, in talking about doing inner voice, says you sit down, you do clearing, you do shielding, then you close your eyes and think of something unpleasant, open your eyes, clear your mind, close your eyes, think of something positive, open your eyes, clear your mind, hit the start, and do your inner voice.
Yep.
Well, if I've shielded, kind of to the same point, if I've already shielded, how am I getting maximum? I realize the frequencies are going to get there when they're needed, but if I've already shielded, how am I getting the optimum?
I don't shield until after I'm through with all of my scanning. So what I do is I clear first, then I do the practice of whatever I'm going to scan. So typically easy scan is what I do every morning. So then I do that same practice. I think of something that upsets me, think of something that makes me happy. Then I do my easy scan once I'm finished, and I've rinsed my Cephis and everything that I've done for myself. So I don't know, maybe you didn't hear it correctly, but that's always been the practice. Clear first, do everything that you're going to do, then shield. And then when you're going to work on a client, clear and shield yourself, clear them, do their scans, shield them when you're done with them, and then go back and clear and shield yourself, just to make sure. It's a lot, but it surely does help you keep protected. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
Another thing I'm not really great at remembering to do all the time. So thank you.
Yeah, you can really pick up on other people's energies. I just did I had a gal that she's in our team now. She's from Canada and she's extremely sensitive. And I had forgotten to actually start off by clearing her because I was discussing with her. And I was like, oh, whoa, well, wait, let me back up. And she even felt it before. She goes, man, I just feel this dark heaviness. And I'm like, okay, well, it's probably, let me go back and let me run some seppies for you and let me just get this cleared. And once I got her all cleared again, I ran some things and restarted. And she's like, oh, I feel so much better. So she was somebody who's extremely, extremely sensitive. And I've had several like that. If you get somebody that's extremely sensitive, they will pick up on whoever you last scanned. It's uncanny, but I've had it several times.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I was talking to a friend today who's going to be on board soon and she's incredibly sensitive. So I was kind of nervous.
And I would really suggest that if they know they're sensitive, they need to start off really, really slow.
Okay.
So, the easy scan seems to be an easy scan, but with this lady, she was doing it 3 times a day and it went right into Herxheimer. So I told her to back off. So now she's just doing the easy scan every other day. And that's actually, she can tolerate that. So
Okay.
easy scans and easy hits. So she's really sensitive right now. But she told me today that she's having a turnaround. So it's like, thank God.
That's awesome.
It is. Anybody else like
Hi,
to share?
everyone.
Hi, beautiful.
So I have just a little quick testimonial. So I was dealing with a woman the other day who inboxed me, and just chatting away with her, I offered her the inner voice scan. So I sent her the inner voice and I got an awesome message back from her. So she's really sensitive too. So speaking on the topic of sensitive, I haven't sent her any frequencies yet, but I started with the inner voice. And immediately after I sent this to her, I got a message from her that said she listened to the tones, muscle tested because she could feel things being removed from her. So she said she muscle tested and was told that the first 2 frequencies that she listened to, the first 2 inner voice songs, that they released grief from her. So she hadn't looked at the report yet. She simply went right to the audios. And then after she muscle tested and it said grief, then she looked at the reports and she said everything on the report added up exactly to what she had just released from her just by listening one time.
Wow.
So there's so much power in the inner voice. I just wanted to say that. And then the clearing and shielding is very important also. We did that a lot with my mom when we were running frequencies. We would clear her right in the morning, run frequencies all day on her, and then shield her and protect her. So definitely something a lot of people forget about that feature. So
Yeah.
But I just wanted to share that. Go ahead.
Sorry. Is it important to use the head transducer headset while you're doing all that?
When you're clearing and shielding, no, not
Because
necessary.
somebody got a hold of mine and it got ruined, and I've been waiting for them to get a new one in, but I can still scan and do all the stuff I need to do with it, even though I don't have it, can I?
Yes, you can. You're just going to lose a little bit of accuracy. It's not a whole bunch, but it is, you'll lose a little bit. So there's even times when I'm in a pinch that I won't use my bone conductors if I'm running out of the house and I'm getting in my car, and I'll just go ahead and do my voice and let the scanner run next to me, while I'm needing to go do something. So it's the same as if we're doing a remote scan. They're not using the bone conductors either. They're losing a little bit of accuracy, but it's not it's not enough to get upset with.
So I have something here, and you know, it happened like 2 years before I ever even heard of the AO scanner. But like I said before, I had a lot of healing I had to do because I escaped 4 years ago out of a cult. And my boys were, I have three boys that have developmental delays. And, you know, one of them has obviously some autism, but they had seizures. They had seizures like constantly. They wet the bed. They had all these issues. And I had to stop and start to look at myself, and I had to focus on myself and start healing that inner voice in me. Even though I didn't know anything about the AO scanner, I had to start going through some emotion, whatever, in myself. When I finally got to where I felt like I was on top of the world, I realized my boys had not wet the bed for a whole month. I realized that they had not even had a seizure for a whole year. So what I'm saying is, when you work on yourself, it emits onto all your loved ones after you.
Wow.
It sure does.
That's
Sure does.
awesome.
Wow, Lene, what a poignant point. Thank you.
That's amazing.
Anyways,
I can kind of testify to that too, because my family was pretty broken before I got the AO scanner. And when it turned my life around, you know, they always say happy wife, happy life. And if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. That is true. And I saw my whole family transform along with me whenever I started to get well. So thanks for sharing that, because it is true. When you heal your family as well.
Yep.
All right. We have 1 minute left before Solex call. So thank you everybody for coming. And we want you to come back every week and share even if it's a small testimony. We want to hear these small ones because it may be big to somebody else. But our Solex call is on at 7:30, and we thank you, and we will see you next week.
Yes. Love you all. Be blessed.
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
You're welcome.